February 23rd, our reflections are about holding nothing back. Life flows best when we stop resisting what we already know we need to do. Compassion works better than shame, and real service grows out of love, not superiority. When we stay open, life expands.
Hi, I'm Candy, and I'm a mind-body coach. I also use hypnotherapy, and I am deconstructing from evangelical Christianity. And I know how mindset shapes our behavior. So in this series, I'm going to share my daily reflections from 3 different devotionals. The Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo, and that one's a little more spiritual, non-religious. Also, Jesus Calling by Sarah Young, which is a very modern Christian approach. And My Utmost for His Highest by Oswald Chambers, which is a very classic Christian angle. My goal is to help you see how each one of these devotionals or these day books might shape your mindset a little differently. And if you're into that kind of reflection, please like and follow for more. Let's get started. So for February 23rd in the Book of Awakening, Mark Nepo is talking about holding nothing back. And he says, more to the point, I have discovered again and again that I usually know what I need to do, but just deny it. And it is this small hesitation, this small resistance to enter what is real that makes life feel neutral or out of reach. To hold nothing back in every breath means staying committed to letting whatever we experience make its way in and letting whatever is in make its way out. So basically just living in this state of an open vessel for things to flow in and out. He goes on also to say that our very breath can serve as a reminder that life is only possible if the exchange of inner and outer life is undisturbed. And I also read this quote a couple days ago, and I can't remember. I think it was in a Brianna Weiss, is that her name? Book. I'm reading a book, 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think. I think it was in that one where she said, actually, I think it was in her Pivot Year book. She says that you can only expand as much in your outward life as you are inwardly. So basically there's a balance, like how you see yourself or how you feel on the inside is just going to be reflected in the outside. And I'm sure any of us who have read any spiritual books or listened to anybody who is farther down the journey than we are, they talk about like that inner world is reflected outward in the outer world. So whatever you're seeing in the outer world is projecting what's going on inside of you. And I think that's kind of similar to what he's saying here. When I'm resisting or I'm holding back inwardly, well, my life's not going to look the way that I'm wanting it to. It's going to feel off. It's going to feel neutral or kind of like I'm just going through the motions or everything's kind of out of reach. And I know of even just an area in my own life that I'm thinking of right now where I've had this idea that I need to push forward on and just go ahead and do. It's not hard. I hesitate. And for whatever reasons, fear, anxiety, the unknown, just the unknown simply can cause me to hold back, to stop it from doing it and just procrastinating it from doing it because it's a fear of the unknown, honestly. And if I can just take that step, then my world expands, it gets bigger. And I find more of, and I've done this before over and over again. So I'm just in another space where I've practiced this enough that I know if I take the step, things will shift and it will be good. And I will adjust. And there will be a lot to learn from that, just a richness. And I feel very alive and all of those things when we take those steps that we know that we should. So that's a good message today to me, good reminder today to me. In Jesus Calling, Sarah Young says, be on guard against the pit of self-pity, and that it's easy to fall in it, or the most dangerous times are when you're weary or not well. And she calls it a demonic trap, and it's the greatest danger you face, she says. And it says, then there are several ways to protect yourself from self-pity. When you are occupied with praising and thanking Jesus, it is impossible to feel sorry for yourself. And also, the closer you live to Jesus, the more distance there is between you and the pit. Okay, first of all, the last line, the closer you live to Jesus, if Jesus lives within, which has been mentioned even in this book, but also that's definitely taught in Christianity. That is a message I definitely picked up on, and I know that it's in there because the Bible does talk about being one with Jesus and that he will come in and dine with you, whatever, in your spirit, blah, blah, blah. So, and she's talking to Christians here. So the closer you live to me, so how do you get farther apart if you can't be closer than in, you know? Um, and people are in self-pity who believe in Jesus. So according to this kind of logic, Jesus lives in you and they still struggle with self-pity. Well, either you have to come up with an idea that you're far away from God, so he's not in you somehow, or somehow you've separated yourself. And in order to get past that, you have to become preoccupied with praising and thanking Jesus all the time. And this is it's just more burden on people that are feeling, if someone's feeling a self-pity, they're probably, it's easy to think, oh, they're just having a little pity party. But well, let's say somebody's truly depressed and they're like, my life just sucks. I don't know what to do. Telling them, like, you just need to start praising God for everything. It's a heaping another burden. Instead, sit with them, feel with them. And then you can slowly begin to make them aware around them that there is good. There is something, someone, just the fact that you're sitting there with them, it brings some comfort, that they have someone, they're not alone. Maybe the temperature in the room feels nice, comforting. Maybe they have a place to lay their head at night, food in their belly, shelter. And even if they don't have those things, you help them find what is there and work from that direction. And that sense of gratitude is healthy and good. Thanking Jesus constantly and praising Jesus, even when you don't feel like it, it's just disingenuous. It's like, let's meet people where they are and then move forward to a better place where they're not stuck in a sense of victimhood. But you got to meet them where they are first. You can't just tell them, hey, you need to start praising God. This has just become spiritual bypassing. So that's all I got to say about this one. In my utmost for his highest today, it was interesting to me because it's something I kind of wish more um, fundamentalist, evangelical kind of Christians would think like. But some of the quotes he says is, somehow we have the idea that a person called to the ministry is called to be different and above other people. But according to Jesus Christ, he is called to be a doormat for others. Then he goes on to say, called to be their spiritual leader, but never their superior. Now, he's not even called to be their spiritual leader. That's just a made up phrase. And also, um, how is someone called? Like, how are we supposed to know? Anybody could tell us that they're called. That's another tricky one. But anyways, I thought it was interesting because a lot of people do think those, especially in like power in the churches, they think that they are above. They don't do the menial work that the people do. They're considered the mouthpiece of God, where other people are considered like a toenail or, fingerprint, something small and insignificant sounding, right? But they'll say, oh, we're all equal. But they have a glory position and they don't do the hard work that a lot of others do. And the others get no praise for, and they go for their whole life with no acknowledgement of what they did, which obviously I know Oswald Chambers there, you don't do things for the acknowledgement. And I get that, but because he goes on to say, if our devotion is to the cause of humanity, like if you are doing for humanity, you'll be quickly defeated and brokenhearted, since we will often be confronted with a great deal of ingratitude from other people. That's true in a lot of areas. But if we are motivated by our love for God, no amount of ingratitude will be able to hinder us from serving one another. I think if we are motivated, you don't have to put up for God, just motivated by love. Love is unconditional.
Love is when you know that you are one with everyone, so then how they are affected, it affects you. If they hurt, you hurt. If they rejoice, you can rejoice instead of feeling the sense of competition or jealousy. That we're all connected to one another. We are family, all of us, not just some of us, all of us, no matter what our color is, no matter what our religion is, no matter, what land we were born in, we are all one. When we think like that and we do things out of that love for ourselves and for our fellow humans, we take care of our planet because we want humans to be able to continue to live on this planet and other creatures. We care for other creatures. We're good stewards of the land, and we love one another. We're not in this constant in the West, we're in this constant competition instead of just we share this space. We're a family. What's best for all of us? What's the best thing we should do? If we had conversations like this, how different a world would be. So I guess that's what I would kind of like come out of this is like, yes, when we need to, if we've exalted ourselves above others, we need to be humbled. We're not superior to anyone, but no one's your spiritual leader either. You have an inner guide. You are one with that inner guide. You don't need someone else to tell you, this is God, or, come over here, here's Jesus, and listen, he's at this church and blah, blah, blah. You don't need, deep down, how to love. It's natural to you. That is your human nature, is love. And if we do things out of love of ourselves, love of humanity as one, that would be pleasing to the divine. So there's the 3 books. Do what you will with them. As always, have a great day. Remember, you get to decide what you devote your thinking to today. You might not be able to control every thought that comes in, but you can definitely decide what you entertain. And whether it comes from something I've said today or something completely different, choose wisely and set an intention that truly benefits you and those around you. And if you found any value here today, don't forget to like and follow. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and let's keep our minds on what helps us love ourselves and each other a little bit better every day.